So with that, we'll start with cool season lawns and seeding. The first thing is I do not recommend that you seed a cool season lawn in the spring. The reason that I don't is because you would need to seed at the point where your soil temperatures are crossing 50, hitting 55. That is when you would seed if you're going to seed in the spring. The reason you want to do that is you don't want to seed too late, because if you did seed in the spring and you seeded too late, let's say when soil temperatures were already crossing 65 heading to 70, that means you're getting closer to summer. And that means you could also get closer to a really big heat blast. And that heat blast that you might get in late May or June would kill your new seed, because the new grass that has grown wouldn't be strong enough to survive the heat. It wouldn't have enough root system to survive the heat. So if you were going to seed in the spring, you would want to do it earlier when soil temperatures are crossing 50 heading to 55. So that way that seed would have plenty of time to grow in the spring while conditions are favorable, meaning not as hot. You have some overcast days, so not as much direct sun to burn it out. It could retain moisture. You're getting rain, all of the things that the seed would need. And one of the advantages to seeding in spring would be that you probably won't need to water as much because you're getting a lot of spring rains. So there's an advantage there. However, those of you that are astute and thinking and understanding and watched my last video where I talked about crabgrass, what you'll know is that the other thing that germinates in the spring as soil temperatures cross 50 heading to 55 is crabgrass. And so what inevitably can happen, and in a lot of cases will happen, is as your new seed is growing, right alongside of it will be growing crabgrass, and the two will compete all year long. And in fact, if you do have to do extra watering because of your seed that you put down, if you are putting extra water in, that's only going to feed more water to the crabgrass. And probably because you're supplementing the watering of the rain, water may get deeper, the ground may be saturated longer, which may wake up more crabgrass seeds than would have woken up normally. And the idea will be that everything is going to be growing alongside of it. And so what will happen is you can end up fighting crabgrass all year. The other thing is the crabgrass in many cases will outcompete your new grass seed, especially if you're using a Kentucky bluegrass, which takes longer to establish. So that's something to think about, is how successful will your seeding be if you have that crabgrass fighting. Now, that's because you can't use prodiamine. You cannot use prodiamine or dithiopyr, which are crabgrass pre-emergents, if you are